In this video, we're building an AI receptionist for a home cleaning services business that turns every missed call into booked jobs. I was after some cleaning for my home.
Sure thing. Are you looking for cleaning services for an apartment or a house?
It answers every call, qualifies the service that customer's after, whether it's a studio apartment clean, a home clean, or a move out clean, and then instantly texts the right payment link so that that customer can go ahead and book directly into your calendar and pay right then and there. There's no chasing and there's no missed opportunities. If you run a home cleaning business or a similar service-based business, you already know the problem. Calls go unanswered while your team's on site, and by the time you call back, that lead has gone with another business. This system fixes just that. We'll build a fully automated AI receptionist using Vapi and n8n that handles our qualification logic, dynamically sends the right payment link based on service type, and stores every call, contact, and transcript in your database so every inquiry is captured even after hours.
Thanks for that. 4 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms. Let me quickly get things sorted for you. Could you kindly share your phone number? I'll send over a personalized booking link for payment and scheduling.
By the end of this video, you'll have a system that works 24/7, answering every call, screens your leads, and sends them straight to your calendar based on the job type. As always, let's jump into a demo now, and then we'll get into building this step by step.
This is Sarah from Ecotech Home Cleaning Services. How can I help today?
Hey Sarah, I was after some cleaning for my home.
Sure thing. Are you looking for cleaning services for an apartment or a house?
It'll be for a house.
Got it. A house. How many bedrooms and bathrooms does your house have?
Yep, it's 4 bedrooms and 2 bathrooms.
All right. Thanks for that. 4 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms. Let me quickly get things sorted for you. Could you kindly share your phone number? I'll send over a personalized booking link for payment and scheduling.
Okay, my phone number is 0473 085 854.
Please hold on. Thanks for sharing. I've sent the personalized booking link to your mobile number. You can review the details, make your payment, and schedule at your convenience. Let me know if there's anything else you'd like to know. Thanks for calling Ecotech.
Awesome, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. And what times are you guys typically open to do these services?
No worries at all. Our regular opening hours for services are Monday to Friday between 9 a.m. and 5 p.m. If you need anything else, feel free to call us back. Thanks again for choosing Ecotech. Have a great day.
So when it comes to building out a system like this, it helps to map out everything that we're going to be doing, so it doesn't feel overwhelming when it comes to Vapi and n8n and why we're doing the things we're doing. So here, our receptionist needs to be able to facilitate 2 primary functions. And one's to be for jobs. Someone's going to call in and ask to book in a cleaning job. And the other one is going to be handling people calling in, asking for contact information, pricing, so those general FAQs. Now, when it comes to jobs, and in this business, we offer 5 main services, right? So one is going to be for studio type cleans, so very small area to clean. The other is going to be 1 bed, 1 bath situations. The third is going to be those 2 bed, maybe 1 bath. The fourth is going to be 2 to 3 bed plus 2 bath. And then the final is obviously going to be above sort of 3 plus beds, 2 plus baths. So these job types are basically how big is our cleaning job at the end of the day. And each type is going to have its own price. And based on the user's inquiry, where we're going to ask, okay, how many beds and baths do you have? This is going to dictate what link or payment link we send them to go ahead and book in. So in this case, our studio clean is going to be priced at $60. Our 1 bed, 1 bath, $70. Our 2 bed, 1 bath, 80, 90, and then 110. Okay. And when it comes to our FAQs, we're going to have a knowledge embedded, and this is going to contain things such as pricing, contact information, as well as some other general. So in essence, this is our entire system and all of the functions it should envelop. So let's jump straight into Vapi first to build out our receptionist, start prompting, and start building in these job functions, FAQs functions. All right, let's jump over there. And if you don't have an account, go ahead and sign up here. It's free to sign up, and then we'll jump into the dashboard. Over here in a Vapi dashboard, we can go ahead and create our first assistant, which is going to be, let's say Sarah. This is going to be our home cleaning services. We'll start with a blank template, and we're going to build out our prompt ourselves. We can hit create assistant down here. Awesome. So Sarah, our home cleaning services, we can start to build out now. Now Vapi offers this nice UI in terms of what we can do when it comes to building a voice agent. We can start from the model, so the LLM, the voice, the transcriber, tools which we'll use, analysis, advanced, some compliance, widget, and structured outputs. We're going to go through all these settings throughout the course of this video. But to get started, let's go ahead down to our model, so basically our LLM, and building out our voice agent, Sarah, for our home cleaning services business. Here we have first message mode. Who should speak first when that call is connected? So because we're answering inbound calls, we're going to speak first, and this is what we should say. Hello, this is Sarah from Eco Tech Home Cleaning Services. How can I help today? We'll say something like that, nice and friendly. Sarah from Ecotech is going to be our mock cleaning services business today. How can I help you today? Awesome. So let's go ahead and map out our system prompt here. So we're going to start off with our role. Now, when it comes to prompting within Vapi, we can start with a role, and then we can move on to the context. So in what context is this conversation happening? We can then define the task. We can say conditional logic, how it's meant to undergo in terms of what it should say when it comes to facilitating or achieving said tasks. So logic. And then we have another section when it comes to prompting, and that's going to be, formatting. We've got things such as specific instructions. And then finally, we'll have a guardrails section. So now we're just going to populate each of these 7 sections. Okay, starting with role. Now, when it comes to the role, this is how should my AI voice agent conduct their behavior, or how should this LLM produce its output? So we can say something like, you are Sarah, a voice AI receptionist for Ecotech, a home cleaning services provider. You're a warm, confident, and professional sounding like a friendly local receptionist who makes those callers feel heard and valued. Your tone emphasizes efficiency, affordability, and trust. Your natural guide callers towards scheduling a cleaning appointment or receiving a quote. And then we're going to load in the current time. So this is really helpful with telling the LLM, well, okay, it's not 2024 with your knowledge cutoff date, it's actually this date. And basically here we use now and some date formatting and our localized time zone. So if you're in America, it'll be America / your city. Awesome. Let's move on to the context now. So in what context is Sarah conducting herself? So we can go ahead and say something like this. You handle inbound calls from potential customers interested in booking cleaning services with Ecotech. Your goal is to qualify the caller by determining the property type, number of bedrooms and bathrooms, and then collecting their phone number to go ahead and send them a personalized booking link via SMS for payment and scheduling. Awesome. So if we take a look back at our diagram, that's exactly what we're specifying here. We need to collect the number of bedrooms and bathrooms to be able to determine what we should price and therefore what link we should send them. We'll also add some additional things such as opening hours. Your opening hours are Monday, Friday, 9 to 5 p.m. That gives it better context when it comes to handling those FAQs. Now we can move on to the task. Now, using a numbered list, what should this agent do step by step when handling these phone calls? So we can say something like your primary task is to greet the caller and introduce yourself, ask if they need cleaning for an apartment or house, and ask how many bedrooms and bathrooms. Thereafter, we'll collect the user's phone number to send a personalized booking link. Be efficient, reassuring, and keep the caller friendly yet concise. Okay. Moving on to how we should actually go about facilitating this task. So we'll use this conditional logic block. Now, put simply, and you'll see this in a moment, our conditional logic block basically defines, okay, what should we ask and exactly what should we say? And then what are some responses a user may say based on what we ask, and how should we handle those? So we can say something like this for our conditional logic. And our conditional logic basically defines, based on the question we ask, how should a user, well, how might a user respond, and what we should do based on that user's response. So when we go ahead and greet the caller and introduce ourselves, and then ask if they need cleaning for an apartment or a house, and they define a house, we'll ask for the number of bedrooms and bathrooms. If it's apartment, we'll ask for, again, the number of bedrooms and bathrooms. If they respond with an unsure type, we offer both apartment and home cleaning services. Which would this be for today? So being explicit in what we should say and what we should do based on a user's response type. And this helps solidify and structure our response to be goal oriented. Moving on to some booking intent. So they've answered these questions and they're ready to book. We're going to collect that room info and then their phone number to send a booking link. If they're not ready to book, we'll offer to send some general pricing info. And here we've defined our general pricing info like so. Similar to what we had here, guys. Moving on, we'll do a contact collection. So if they provide our number, we'll confirm and use an SMS tool. And this is going to be our tool, which we'll create in a moment to go ahead and send that booking and payment link. If they refuse to provide a number, we'll thank them politely and end that call. Awesome. So moving on to our formatting rule. And this is how we should format our responses. So we can go ahead and add a section like so. Using natural fillers and pausing, right, okay, so, and so forth. Show empathy with light phrases, no worries at all, too easy, we'll sort that out. Keep our tone conversational and upbeat, of course. Repeat part of what the user says before replying to sound attentive. So yeah, an apartment, got it. End our call warmly. Thanks for calling Ecotech. And then we're going to do some currency and number or numerical based normalization. So here, if we're providing a number 1300, 123, 456, we should read that out as 1300, 123, 456. Currency, we'll do 70 as $70, $90, $90, and then the same for email addresses. So our at symbol should be pronounced at, dot, dot, and our emails like so. So this helps the AI voice agent sound a lot more natural and not get tripped up by some of these things. Because remember, our LLM is outputting our responses in text, and then we pass that to a model like 11 Labs to produce some AI voice. Moving on to our specific instructions, we can say some things like ask one question at a time. If they hesitate, clarify with pricing reassurance. Refuse to share number, we'll end that call. Confirm understanding before moving on. Maintain a calm and confident tone. Keep call efficient, no unnecessary filler beyond light natural chatter. And then finally, we're going to map out our guardrails section. So what shouldn't the agent do when conducting its conversation? So for instance, we should never collect sensitive data, credit cards, IDs, addresses, never offer financial, legal, or tax advice, never promise discounts or guarantees, speculating about duration or availability, never pressure or argue, always thank and end politely, and escalate or end the call for requests outside of cleaning services scope. Awesome. So we have our full prompt mapped out here. Now what we'll have to do is go ahead and publish at the top here. We can skip and publish down here, and we can go ahead and move on to our voice configuration. So let's go ahead and pick how Sarah should sound. And this is the fun part when it comes to building out your voice agents. So here I've had a look, and we're going to be using an 11 Labs voice. So I found a nice one. We'll move on to additional configurations, and this defines the settings of our voice when it comes to our voice agent. So should we have some background sounds in office, or default being an office, and things like that? Punctuation boundaries, stability, we'll leave all these the same. Now we'll move on to our transcriber. We can use a Deepgram as transcriber, and this is a nice and robust transcription service. And what we're going to do is change this to Nova 3, a bit more robust. We'll use some key terms here. So sometimes when it comes to transcribing what we say or what the voice says, it can be mispronounced or mistranscribed rather. So we can do eco, tech, we can do cleaning, services, one bed, one bath, we'll do bed and bath. And we can, have a bunch of key terms, but that should do for now. Moving on to our tools. So with this particular voice agent, we have one tool that is going to send an SMS to the customer. And this SMS to the customer is going to change based on their response types, right? So we're going to add a tool to our voice agent. Now, we don't have a tool built out. Obviously, we don't have our SMS tool here. So we can create, up the top here, we can create a tool. And you'll see here, there's a bunch of native tools and integrations you can choose from when it comes to Vapi. But today we're going to build out sort of a custom tool. And our custom tool needs to collect the user number as well as know what SMS we should send based on the customer's response, e.g. how many beds and bathrooms to determine the price, and therefore the booking and pricing link we're sending to them. So in this case, we're going to build out a custom tool. And as we had in our prompt, we'll name this SMS_tool. So we'll say use this tool when the user has defined how many beds and bathrooms they'd like a cleaning service for and have provided their phone number. So this gives a description on when our tool should be used. This helps calling this tool at the right time. We have some options here. Should it run asynchronously behind the scenes while you're still conducting your conversation? We'll leave that off for now. We'll have strict parameter validation here. And now we can add some parameters here. So what do we need to collect from the user and send externally to do some processing? So in our case, determine what type of service they're after and how much we should charge them and send our booking link. So we're going to need our phone number to be collected by the user. And then we're going to need something else that will determine what service type they're after. So perhaps here we'll number 1 through to 5 what service they're after, and that'll help us downstream be able to process a bit better. So here we can add a property, and our first one is going to be type, and this can be a number. The type of service the user falls under based on bed and bath number. So we're going to say type equal to 1 if it's a studio apartment, okay? Type equal to 1 if studio apartment, comma, type equal to 2 if apartment or home with 1 bed, 1 bath. And we'll say type equal to 3 if it's a home or apartment with 2 beds and 2 bath. Type equal to 4 if it's a home or apartment, 2 to 3 bed and 2 bath. And then we'll say type 5 if it's a home or apartment with 3 plus bed, 2 plus bath. So here, we're not going to collect this from the user. This is going to be defined itself. And this is going to assign a numeric value to this name type that we're going to be able to use to determine, okay, the user is after this type of cleaning service. And based on a number, we know how big that house or apartment is, and therefore know how to route and send the appropriate payment and booking link for that service. So we'll have 5 event types, let's say, with 5 different prices. And how do we differentiate between the 5 if we're not collecting what type it's for? So we can apply here. We'll add a property, and this one will be phone, and we can leave the type here as a string. The user's phone number formatted to E164 format. So what is E164? This is a mobile phone number with the area code. So +1 if you're in the US, +61 if you're in Australia, like myself, and so forth. Okay, so in my case, I'm going to give an example. For example, if the user says 0473085, normalize and format to +614, so removing the 0 from the start of the number and adding +61. So you'll do this to whatever localized time zone you're in, number format you're in. We can go ahead and make that a required value. So without the number, we can't execute our function, which is in essence to send the user an SMS with the payment booking link. So we'll hit apply. Now we need a server URL. So because we're building a custom tool, and a custom tool just meaning we handle the processing ourselves, we need to point this to our own server. And in this case, we're going to be using n8n. That is going to take a type and a phone number and work out what to do with it, and then return our response back to Vapi, or our voice agent. So let's go ahead and open up n8n. And in a new workflow, we can go ahead and select something like webhook, like so. And here we'll change our path to SMS. We'll change it to a post request, and we'll grab that production URL. Let's hit save on that one, and let's head back to Vapi and paste in that server setting or server URL in like so. We'll set the timeout to 20 seconds. How long should this entire process take before Vapi says, okay, this failed, something's not going wrong? That's our timeout setting there. We have some other settings that we won't mess about with other than our messages. So configure the message to be spoken during different stages of tool executions. So when the tool starts, e.g. request start, we can say a default message, we can say nothing, or we can say our own message, which could be something like please hold on. And here we can wait for the message to be spoken before triggering the tool call. We'll leave that off for now. Awesome, so we have our own tool built out. Let's hit save on that one. So back in our assistant, our home cleaning services, we now have built out this SMS tool, okay? All we have to do is head over to tools, and we can select and apply that tool at the agent level here. We can hit publish on that one, skip and publish. And now before we call in, we can chat and test this function directly. So I don't want to call in before we have mapped out our tool entirely. So we can have a little chat with an assistant. This makes testing your agent a lot simpler and easier. Hello, this is Sarah from Ecotech Home Cleaning Services. How can I help you? I want to book a cleaning job. Apartment or house? Let's say apartment. 1 bed, 1 bath. What's your best phone number? We'll put in our phone number. You can see our tool was called with type 2, and then it's going to say thank you for providing your phone number. You'll receive a booking link. Thanks for calling and have a great day. So in text, this is sounding perfect. You'll see it called our SMS tool with arguments type 2, phone in our E16 format. Awesome. So type 2 we know is for 1 bed, 1 bath, and you can see there it perfectly executed that. And now when we take that tool call, which had been executed, we'll see that tool was executed, right, with our arguments being sent over. So if I scroll down here, we see our tool call ID, SMS tool, and we can see 2 arguments or parameters we've collected, type 2 and our phone number. This is great because we can now go ahead and use these arguments to do some processing. So grab our event links or payment links and then send a SMS to this number. Awesome. So here, what we can do is we can create a switch node, and this is going to route items depending on a defined expression or rule. So put simply, we can take input type, argument, type is equal to 1, rename output, and we'll want to make sure this is a number, is equal to. So if type is equal to 1, so let's say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If type is equal to 1, we'll rename to perhaps offer 1 or studio clean. So if type is equal to run, we'll say studio clean, and then we'll add an additional rule, and it's going to be the same. So now if type is equal to 2, like the conversation we had just had, we know small clean, so small home or apartment. We'll add another rule, and this will change to number. So number equal to, and then let's paste that in. So if that's equal to 3, we'll do medium clean. We'll add another rule. Again, a number type is equal to, and now we're going to map for 4, renaming that output to a large clean. And then finally, we have 5 types, right? So this is our 5th and final one. Again, putting that to a number is equal to 5. So if our type is equal to 5, that will just say huge clean. And each of these types have a price associated with them, right? So a huge one, which is above 3 beds and above 2 baths, is going to be 110, remember? And 90, 80, 70, 60. And we could even put that in the output here. So we could say $90, and then that medium clean was 80, obviously. A small clean, 70. And then our studio clean was at that $60 price range. Now, if I execute step, you'll see our output switch types: studio, small, medium, large, huge. And obviously for the conversation we had via text, that was a small clean. 1 bedroom, 1 bathroom, priced at $70. You can see our output here. Now in this output, we can use a phone number to be able to send an SMS with a payment booking link. Awesome. So you can see all the routing types here. And now what we have to do is search up Twilio or your messaging provider. We could say send SMS or WhatsApp message. And here we can map for our studio clean first, being that top path. And here you're going to want to connect our credentials, well, our Twilio account with this node. To do that, we can create new credential, and we'll need an auth type, which is going to be token or API key. So we'll use token. We need our account SID and auth token. So you can head over to a service like Twilio, which we'll be using today. And we can head over to console.twilio.com, create an account, purchase a number, and go ahead and authenticate with n8n. So over in your account, we can find those credentials. If you scroll down at console.twilio.com on the main page, you can find those under account SID, which we can go ahead and copy. And we can find our auth token here, as well as a phone number that we'll want to use to send an SMS. Now, obviously, if you have a Twilio account, you'll need to purchase a phone number. To do so, you can go to develop, manage, and buy a number. And you'll need to ensure that the number you bought has SMS capability. I've already done that, and this is a Twilio tutorial, so I'm going to skip that part. But what I do need is our account info that we're going to use with our authentication over here in n8n. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. Awesome. So I've done that. You'll want to define where this number is from. And obviously I've blurred it out for obvious reasons. And 2 is going to be, what number are we sending this SMS to? And this is going to be the customer number, right? And then we'll also have to define the message. So what should the message look like that we're sending to the customer? And what are some things that it's going to include? So this message is going to look like hi, and we can change it to expression, open it up a bit. We can say, hi, thanks for choosing Eco Tech Cleaning Services. Your payment and booking link is below. So here we're going to add a link and define what these look like in a moment. We'll say kind regards, Sarah. And this is for the top line. So here, we'll just go out of this for just a moment. And what we'll want to do is go ahead and copy this for each of the types. So we have 5 total here. We can duplicate, whoops, duplicate, duplicate, and duplicate. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we're going to have 5 different messages based on the type of home or apartment size they have. So it'll look something like that. Let's go ahead and clean up that selection. And the one we have data for is this small clean at $70. So in this case, we'll have some input that we can work with. And what we're basically looking for here is the phone number. So the to phone number is going to be like so. And let's just copy that. Now all we'll have to do is copy this to number for all the other nodes. And then we'll have to create 5 different events on a service like Calendly or cal.com with those associated payments required and the location and things like that, collecting those input types from the user. So I'm going to go ahead and copy this and we'll head back up. Now I can paste that in like so, and that's going to be good. And then I'm going to do these for the other 3. So let's zoom back out here, put everything into perspective if you're not following along. What we've done is we've built out our receptionist prompt. We've also now defined each type as a numeric value 1 through till 5. And what this does is gives us insight into what type of clean it is and how much we should charge, regardless of how many beds and bathrooms. All these types are being sent to our n8n, which we're using to distribute those links to collect those payments, collect some more details from the customer, and book in that clean job at the end of the day. We've also got some things here that we've loaded in, like pricing, and we'll need to add some contact and general info. But before we do that, we need to now create the 5 event types in whatever service you so wish. But today we're going to be using cal.com to create those 5 service types with those associated pricings. So for instance, over on cal.com, I've just whipped up 5 different event types and with 5 different prices and times. Obviously, we have our studio, small, medium, large, and huge clean, just to showcase what this actually would look like or hypothetically look like. I've not included the price for a small clean, so we can do a bunch of testing. But all of these, would look something like this, where we can preview. A user will go in, select their time, name, email, and address. And then we'll have to, obviously, if I put in 123 Test Street or something like so, we'll have to pay to book this event. So collecting our payments as well as booking in, where they have to enter their card details to go ahead and get that huge clean done. Make sense? Awesome. So what we'll have to do is now copy our link to events to send the user in our SMS body, right? So what we can do is we'll start with our huge clean, head back over to our workflow, and down here, our top one, we'll want to input that into the SMS body. So here, instead of this random link that we had here, we now have our huge clean 110 with our payment link. We're going to go ahead and do that for the remainder of all these events. And finally, our small clean that we can put there. Awesome. So we'll go ahead and save all those. Now all we'll have to do is add a node on the back of all these SMSs, which basically is going to tell Vapi, okay, this tool worked. So we can do webhook, and we're looking for respond to webhook. Here we can select JSON, expression, and then we're going to open this up, right? And our response payload should look like this. So results array with our tool call ID. So what tool was called, and then the response. So we'll say, I just sent the SMS to your mobile then. So we can say that for all the results, and we need to grab the tool call ID, which we can find. If you go to your switch node, under tool calls, you'll see tool calls index 0, and then we have our ID here. So the SMS tool call ID is what needs to be passed back here. And we're going to pass in that variable there, obviously removing this X at the end like so. Cool. Let's copy this in its entirety. And, well, we won't need to. We'll just go ahead and duplicate all these, connecting our nodes like so. Bang, bang, bang. Connect it all up. And finally, down here. We have now completed our tool. Let's hit save on the back there. Now, let's test our voice agent on a real phone call. Okay, so what we're going to have to do, head back to our Vapi dashboard, and now we don't necessarily want to test in SMS-based format here or text-based format. We actually want to connect this to a phone number. So we're going to head up to the phone numbers tab here on the left-hand side. And what we want to be doing now is connecting Sarah to the same phone number in which we're sending our SMSs from. And this is going to bring up a little screen like so, where we can hit create phone number, and we're going to import Twilio, right? And this is going to follow the same conventions as in n8n when we had to connect our account to our n8n ecosystem, only now we're in Vapi. So we're going to input these account credentials along with our Twilio phone number, ready to start calling. All right. All we have to do is import from Twilio down here. Now this will populate a screen like so, and obviously your phone number won't be blurred, but in my case it is. You'll see inbound settings here, and here we can select the assistant we want to assign to our inbound phone line. So in this case, it's going to be Sarah, and all you have to do is save this, and we're going to be good to call into our agent and go ahead and test out these 5 different event types and check, most importantly, if our payment link logic is working normally. Now, before we go ahead and test, just make sure your webhook is respond to webhook node. Cool. So let's go ahead and save that. Now let's call into Sarah from our EcoTech cleaning services. So we're going to dial in and we're going to go down our path without the cost, where I have to input the credit card details just to showcase, and then we can test out some other things thereafter. So let's go ahead and dial in, guys. I'm going to put her on speaker.
Hello, this is Sarah from EcoTech Home Cleaning Services. How can I help today?
Hey, Sarah, I was looking to get a cleaner in to do some cleaning on my home.
Fantastic. We'd be happy to help with that. So, you're looking to get cleaning for a house, is that right?
Yeah, it's for a house.
Got it. A house. Thanks for confirming. How many bedrooms and bathrooms does it have?
Yeah, sure. It is 1 bed, 1 bath.
Perfect. 1 bedroom and 1 bathroom. All right. The cleaning service for that would be $70. Could I grab your phone number to send you a personalized booking link for payment and scheduling?
Yep, sure. My phone number is 0473 085 854.
Please hold on. Thanks for that. I've just sent you a personalized booking link to your phone. You can use it to take care of the payment and schedule the cleaning at a time that works for you. If there's anything else you need, feel free to reach out. Thanks for calling EcoTech and have a lovely day.
So as we can see, we got if I click the link here, it's going to take me to the calendar and we can see location, the time. I can just book in a time, 9 a.m. Put in our name, email, and then our address. And obviously this isn't the paid one. And that'll go ahead and confirm and book into our calendar as EcoTech. We'll see our meeting had been scheduled. That notification's just popped up there. We can see that has popped up on the calendar with obviously the details, what it is and where it is and to whom it's for. Awesome, awesome, awesome. So when we book in, follow that flow, we're good to go. Let's go ahead and do a few more test calls with different event types. And obviously, if we check that last execution, that came through as type 2. So we just want to monitor for all different types. Remember, referring back to our Miro board here. So I'm going to do a few more dials and we'll test everything out. But before we do that, we want to add one final thing, and that is to add end of call reporting, in which we can store some of these conversations in our database. So here we're going to have to add a new webhook production, and let's name this path EO end of call, EOC. So here we can connect to something like a data table, which is an inbuilt database within n8n, so we don't have to connect to any external systems, which is great. So data tables, we'll want to insert a row, and here we're going to have to create our data table first. We can call this Eco tech DB database creates. And here we're going to have to add some columns. Let's do service type, and then let's do number. So the customer's number, and then we'll do the transcript. So we want to store the transcript of that conversation in here. Pretty straightforward. Let's do it. So back over in our insert row, we can select that data table we had just created. And now we have some values to insert. So the service type, number, transcript. So what we'll have to do is have one final conversation, populate this, and we can do that while we're testing these other service types. So here, let's just go ahead and copy this production URL, heading back over to Vapi, Assistant, and our home cleaning services. Let's go to Advanced, scrolling down to Messaging, and here where you see Service Setting under Server URL, go ahead and paste in that. We'll scroll down and you'll see Client and Server Messages. Here, we only want end of call report, so we can only select that. Go ahead and hit publish on that one, skip and publish. And now we're just going to jump over to analysis really quickly. And under structured data, we want to say you will be given a transcript of a conversation to which you'll determine the service type the user is after. And that's obviously going to be 1 through to 5. And here we can add a property, and this is going to be type. And here, this is a number field similar to what we had in the tool. We'll mark that as required. We'll add a description, the type of the service, and we're just going to copy in the description that we had from our tool call initially. So in this case, we're saying the type of the service the user falls in, type 1, and so forth, all the way to type 5. And what we're going to do here is we're going to go ahead and publish, skip and publish. And now we can have a conversation with our AI. And we'll do another call. So let's do our medium clean, for example.
Hello, this is Sarah from Ecotech Home Cleaning Services. How can I help today?
Hey, Sarah, I was looking to get some cleaning done, please.
Great to hear that. I'd be happy to help. Are you looking to get cleaning done for a house or an apartment?
It's an apartment.
Yeah, an apartment. Got it. How many bedrooms and bathrooms does your apartment have?
It's 2 beds, 2 baths.
Okay, so 2 beds and 2 baths. Excellent. Now I just need your phone number to send you a personalized booking link for payment and scheduling. What's your number, please?
Yep, so my number is 0473 085 854.
Please hold on. Perfect. You should receive a booking link via SMS shortly. If you have any questions or need further assistance, feel free to reach out. Thanks for calling Ecotech. Have a great day.
Thank you so much, darling. Appreciate it. Okay, so that worked, and we can see now our new link, guys, is this clean 80. So the right service type there again. If I go ahead and click onto the link, this is going to pull up the cal.com, and I'm able to go ahead and select a time. Obviously, let's just choose that. And here we'll input our name, email address, and the location of my house. And then here there's that pay button, and that's going to charge us. So that payment link as well as that booking link. So very, very cool stuff here. Let's switch back over to n8n. So now we got that new conversation. We'll just copy that to editor. Now we can use some of these values, such as the service type and the number, which you can search up by typing your number, and it's under customer number. And then we'll search up transcript. This is going to give us the full and complete transcript of that conversation. If I go ahead and execute that step, that record has just been created. And there we have it. If I go to our data table, refresh, we can see the conversation we had just had. We see some redundant ones here in testing. The main thing we're looking for here is the conversation we had. So service type, number, transcript, and that's going to be obviously that full conversation that we had just had. Awesome. So that's the entire backend system worked out. Let's go ahead and test for general FAQs and some of these other service types, just to ensure everything's right and there's nothing missing in this system. Let's go ahead and call back in, and we'll do a large home.
This is Sarah from Ecotech Home Cleaning Services. How can I help today?
Hey Sarah, I was after some cleaning for my home.
Sure thing. Are you looking for cleaning services for an apartment or a house?
It'll be for a house.
Got it. A house. How many bedrooms and bathrooms does your house have?
Yep, it's 4 bedrooms and 2 bathrooms.
Uh, Thanks for that. 4 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms. Let me quickly get things sorted for you. Could you kindly share your phone number? I'll send over a personalized booking link for payment and scheduling.
Okay, my phone number is 0473 085 854.
Please hold on. Thanks for sharing. I've sent the personalized booking link to your mobile number. You can review the details, make your payment, and schedule at your convenience. Let me know if there's anything else you'd like to know. Thanks for calling Ecotech.
Awesome, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. And what times are you guys typically open to do these services?
No worries at all. Our regular opening hours for services are Monday to Friday between 9 a.m. and 5 p.m. If you need anything else, feel free to call us back. Thanks again for choosing Ecotech. Have a great day.
Not a bad conversation there. Awesome, awesome. And we can see that's just popped up, service type 5, that conversation that we had just had. Great working system. I'm going to call in one more time just to ensure everything's smoothed over and we've done a good job. Perhaps we're not ready to book and we'll test that sort of path. We'll specifically ask for just the prices. We know our booking payments sort of logic is working fine. Okay.
Hello, this is Sarah from Ecotech Home Cleaning Services. How can I help today?
Hey Sarah, I was just wondering how much you guys charge to clean a 2-bed, 2-bath home.
Hi there. Sure, for a 2 bedroom, 2 bathroom home, our cleaning service is priced at $90. Would you like to go ahead and book a cleaning, or should I send a personalized link with more information?
That's okay. I was just wondering about my friend's home. I actually have just a studio apartment that I'd like to book a cleaning service for. How much is that?
Got it. For a studio apartment, the cleaning service is priced at $60. Would you like to book that now, or I can send you a personalized link to check out and schedule your cleaning?
Yeah. If we could book that now, that'd be great.
All right, let's do this. Could you tell me your phone number so I can send you a personalized link for scheduling and payment?
Yep, it's 0473 085 854.
Please hold on. Thanks for that. I've sent a personalized booking link to your mobile number. Feel free to check it out and schedule your cleaning at your convenience. Is there anything else I can help with today?
That's all. Thank you so much. We'll go ahead and monitor that data table. So it handled those general FAQs good. Let's monitor this table and we might have to refresh in a moment. And bang, studio, service type 1, transcript in there. That's all we need, guys. This is perfect. Okay, so we've gone through everything. All the event types are working. We've obviously got that link had been sent through. If I scroll down there and show you guys that, that final link there, here we go. And obviously I can click into that, book in the service, of course, choose my time, pay for that, and we're good to go. All right, guys, that is it for today. If you enjoyed this video, leave a like and comment below. If you're looking to stay ahead of the voice AI curve, consider joining the AI Voice Network. It's my community where we learn, build, and deploy production-ready voice AI. Or if you're just looking to continuously stay up to date with what's happening in the voice AI space, consider subscribing. But that is it for this video. Until next time.